What up, Dope Biz Nation? It's your boy Tay Biz, and we have a special video for you today because we are going to uncover the Fulton County Jail owing a third-party security company $1 million. And this particular CEO of this company told his people to remove themselves from the Fulton County Jail. Before we get started, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this right now. Let's go.
According to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, this company, Strategic Security Corporation, has around 80 employees working inside the jail as security officers. But the company says it ceased all operations within the jail Thursday because the Sheriff's Office hasn't paid them in months. At an impromptu news conference Thursday night, Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labat admitted the Sheriff's Office owed money to its security contractor, Strategic Security.
So it's nearly $1 million that ultimately over 3 months that we actually, from the perspective of unfunded or being able to not fund that properly, we owed that. And obviously, like any good business, they wanted their money.
And that's exactly what Strategic Security Corporation told us in a statement, saying it deeply regrets the necessity of having to terminate security services at the jail because it could create officer safety issues. But the company felt the Sheriff's Office left them no choice. We asked Sheriff Labat why they hadn't paid the company for its services in the last 3 months.
So this is a budgetary issue that we have continually fought for. And so we were not in a position. Again, we talk about the historic underfunding of the Sheriff's Office, and that played a large part.
The company said it terminated services at the jail at 5 p.m. But Sheriff Labat says the company texted its workers to walk off the job much earlier in the day while they were trying to work things out with the company.
During our conversations today, during negotiations today, they actually told their people to abandon their post. And so at that point, I found that disingenuous, and we found a way to move forward.
Sheriff Labat says they've now offered jobs to 47 of the strategic security employees who worked at the jail. He says they have money in their vacancies budget to use for those hires, but says his office couldn't use those same funds to pay the company.
So again, there are two different buckets of money, right? One is contractual money. The other, what we're using, are monies that were gleaned from the vacancies.
Now, I did see several strategic security employees coming out of the Sheriff's Office after meeting with hiring officials. Now, the CEO of Strategic Security has agreed to do an interview with Fox 5 tomorrow, so be sure to tune in because we're going to be bringing you much more on this developing story. Reporting in Fulton County, Eric Mock, Fox 5 News.
All right, so let me get this straight. I have a company that provides extra security for your most ruthless, horrible jail in America, and you haven't paid me in 3 months. So that way I could pay my employees. And I tell them to leave their posts. And you think it's disingenuous? The nerve of you. The nerve of you. We're going to get into the full video of that sheriff because he did give a full, review in response to the things that are going on. And also we do have the actual full statement of the CEO. Let's go ahead and take a look at it right now. All right, here's the full statement of the CEO of Strategic Security Corporation regarding the termination of security services at Fulton County Jail. All right, here we go. It says here, Atlanta, Georgia, August 29th, 2024, Strategic Security Corp, a leading nationwide security guard company, deeply regrets the necessity of having to terminate our security services at Fulton County Jail due to a breach of contract for non-payment of services. Despite multiple efforts to resolve the issue or this situation, including numerous emails, phone calls, meetings, and notices to various offices, including the sheriff's office, the mayor of Atlanta's office, the county commissioner's office, and even the governor's office, no viable solution has been proposed by the responsible parties. Regrettably, no timeline for payment or good faith attempt to address the outstanding balance has been made. As of 5 o'clock on August 29th, 2024, all relevant parties have been notified that Strategic Security Corps will be forced to withdraw all security services from Fulton County Jail. This action is taken with a heavy heart as it creates a potential officer safety issue and crisis at the facility. Strategic Security Corps has always been committed to providing top-notch security services and upholding our contractual obligations. However, the continued non-payment has left us with no choice but to take this difficult step to protect the interests of our company and our employees. We sincerely hope that a resolution can be reached swiftly to avoid any further disruptions or risks to security at the Fulton County Jail. Strategic Security Corporation remains open to dialogue and cooperation in order to find a mutually acceptable solution to this challenging situation. So that is the full release statement from the CEO himself, stating that, hey, I don't want to do this, but I have to do this. This is business, right? And then on top of that, it seems like the Fulton County, area, or the Fulton County Sheriff Office wants to still pay these gentlemen who have left with this company because they're contracted with that company. They want to pay them from another set of funds that they can pay the security company in. I mean, again, everything just is so twisted and so messed up. And when you look at the budget that Fulton County got, the 1.2 something billion, and then the district attorney's office itself got 36 point something $million. So the conditions of the jail is going to still remain messed up. It's going to get worse and worse when it comes to security because no one is there. I mean, 80 people being removed is there. Then on top of that, you have the contraband issue that just occurred where you had about 13 to 14 different type of correctional officers who got involved in contraband, smuggling cigarettes and smuggling weed and all these kind of things. This is absolutely insane. So you already know what the Fulton County Jail conditions was like because Woody told us on the stand himself. Watch this.
After January 10th, people started shooting at me and my family. February, I went to jail for trying to protect me and my baby and my girl at the time. They put me in Rice Street on some stuff called medical flow. It's somewhere hid in the jail. It stink. It's crazy people in there talking, yelling through the door, putting feces all on the window and on the wall. They locked me in the room. It's one door right here. It's one door right here, and it's another door back here, and it's another door back here. I'm behind this door. I don't see nobody. I don't talk to nobody. I'm by myself. I'm at the verge of losing my mind. People trying to shoot at me while they got me locked in this room. I can't talk to nobody. I can't see nobody. I'm locked in this room. They held me in that room for 3 weeks. I got out of jail. I had a court date for another county where I never even been to for some charges I never even did. I don't steal out of stores. I went down to that courthouse and tried to get it situated. Went in the wrong courtroom, told the deputy, hey, my name is such and such, such. I missed court. I'm here to fix it. He said, oh, I gave him my name, told him what happened. He said, oh, you got a warrant. And he locked me up. They put me right back in jail. I stayed in jail a whole month. I had to use the money for selling my four-wheeler to pay an attorney to come represent me. I got the lawyer to come represent me. That lawyer, he got me a bond. A friend of mine gave my baby mama the money to pay my bond. She paid my bond. I got out of jail. The very next day, Atlanta police came into the gym with a whole lot of them. They got me, said that this my bag, this my gun. They took me from my neighborhood to Turnerfield. They questioned me. I told them it wasn't my gun. They let me go. They came back and get me June 10th. They questioned me. I was at the verge of losing my mind because every time I come outside, they keep locking me up. They got me. They did it. They held me in the interrogation room for a whole day, probably. I don't know. They put me right back in Rice Street, put me right back behind all these doors.
See, right out of his own mouth. And can you imagine going back to a place like that? Now, not only going back to a place like that, but also going back to a place like that where now you have 80 less employees and security guards or correctional officers or whatever you want to call them. You have 80 less now than that. You know what I'm saying? And so the conditions of the jail is already messed up, but the violence, people are making shanks on a regular basis just to survive in Fulton County Jail. So they owe nearly $1 million is what the sheriff said. This sheriff has made a full speech or a full response to what was going on or a full update to what was going on. This is what the sheriff said. and we're going to go ahead and play it right now. And let me know what you think. Do you think he's being genuine? Do you think he's being facetious? Do you think he's being a little bit disingenuous? Because let me tell you something. If you're supposed to pay my company, you owe me $1 million. I have to pay my guys. I have to make sure that my guys are getting paid on time. And you do not pay me for 3 months. I've given you 90 days of free services. I've been paying my guys out my own pocket, basically, because you haven't been giving me the money that was agreed upon for this contract. I'm giving you 3 months worth of work, and then I remove my guys, and you tell me that what I did is disingenuous? I don't know, man. Let me know what y'all think about this, Sheriff, man. Let's go.
If you are not familiar, there was a third-party contractor. Given that we have long since said the Fulton County Sheriff has been understaffed and underfunded, an opportunity for us to partner with the Board of Commissioners early last year and bring on a third-party contractor. Since then, given the funding deficit, our inability to, as a county, pay the actual past due expenses, the company made a decision in writing that they would pull out Friday. Unfortunately and regrettably, at around 2:15 today, company employees were told to vacate their jobs, abandon their position, and not to come in to work tonight. So we worked with our county manager, we worked with our chief human resource officer manager for the county, and we are available and are using our vacancies to actually hire those individuals. The last thing I wanted to do is have anybody be unemployed, be in a position where ultimately they are without a job. And so we've invited those individuals back in. And as one young lady, we've met with them, one young lady just said, I'm grateful for the opportunity, couldn't afford to be unemployed, and we are focusing on hiring at a security officer specialist position, which is equivalent to what they actually left as after being told to leave. And essentially, because they're coming to work for the county, they will get a 10% pay increase as well as benefits. So I'll take any questions that you may have.
Sheriff, how much did the sheriff's office owe to this company?
So it's nearly $1 million that ultimately over 3 months that we actually, from the perspective of unfunded or being able to not fund that properly, we owed that. And obviously, like any good business, they wanted their money. What I found disingenuous, though, was during our conversations today, during negotiations today, they actually told their people to abandon their post. And so at that point, I found that disingenuous, and we found a way to move forward.
Sure. So that you did not plan on paying the excess of $1 million. And also, who does this fall on? Is it the sheriff's office or is it the county commissioner?
So it's enough blame to go around. But ultimately, I believe people should get paid for what they have worked for. And so we will work diligently to make that happen. But ultimately, we have put ourselves in a position where we can create and maintain a safer environment by employing these individuals. And we want to create a safer employment opportunity for them, as well as those that we provide care and custody to.
Can you talk how many employees did you hire back?
Right now, our target is nearly 50, specifically 47 that came in tonight. And that is understanding that the third-party contractor went from a buildup of 30 to almost 80 plus individuals. So that's nearly half. We have scheduled them accordingly so that we can possibly create the safest environment that we have.
Why were they not paid for the past 3 months?
The company itself, again, so this is a budgetary issue that we have continually fought for. And so we were not in a position, again, we talked about the historic underfunding of the sheriff's office, and that played a large part.
So if you're not able to pay them, no.
I understand that these employees, from talking to the CEO, that they were actually paid by this company, but the company was not receiving money from Fulton County. So essentially, these employees haven't been paid, but they're being paid by the company. The company is out over $1 million.
Well, the company has said they paid employees, but the meeting I just left, there were several employees, 10 or 15 employees that said last week before, these people didn't get a full paycheck. And so I'm happy to onboard them as Fulton County employees, because one thing that Fulton County does well is take care of its employees.
So if you haven't been able to pay them for the past 3 months because of budgetary concerns, but now you're hiring people with a increase in pay, how is the sheriff's department going to pay for them?
So there are two different buckets of money.
Yeah.
And so ultimately we're using our vacancies, as I've said, to really bring them on to a livable wage. Really, as I found out, it was heartbreaking to see that some of these folks weren't even making a livable wage. And so if you look at what the Board of Commissioners has done in a very positive manner, and that is creating employee opportunities where people are making in this case, $41,000.
But why couldn't this have been fixed before this? Because, I mean, if you had this pot of money over here that you're able to hire people with now with a pay increase, why did it get to this point where a company hasn't been paid nearly $1 million?
So again, there are two different buckets of money, right? One is contractual money. The other, what we're using, are monies that were gleaned from the vacancies. And so we're able to, because as we continuously hire, and we have done a great job, the women and men of the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, every day they come into an environment where they have the hardest job really in the state of Georgia, and ultimately should be paid accordingly. And so where we continuously recruit, we've recruited almost 750 people in the last 3 years, retention becomes an opportunity. And if you follow the Board of Commissioners, if you look at where we're not able to pay double time any longer, where overtime was cut, there are buckets of money that really lie in our vacancies. And so with the Board of Commissioners, or actually with our partners over at the county manager's office, again, the chief people person for the county, a sustainable way now for us to move forward.
Does Fulton County plan on paying this third-party company the millions of dollars that they are?
As I said earlier, I believe in paying for people the work they've done. And so contractually, we will get there. We just weren't going to be able to get there as quickly as they liked.
Sure, but the company had said they've been doing numerous calls, meetings with you guys, but you're telling us that you were in negotiations today when they made this call to have their employees walk off. But the company's saying that they've already.
Yeah, I can't comment on, again, the disingenuousness of what was happening. I know for a fact, me and my team were on the phone at 2:15 when they then actually called the Fulton County customer service line and told them that, one, they're telling people to leave at 5 o'clock today, and simultaneously, while on the phone with one of our chief people persons, told their people to leave. And in fact, people left. And so again, the last thing I want is for anybody to be unemployed. And so we have changed this into a positive. Ultimately, this has allowed us to bring more people on, allowed us to create a safer environment. And the people that are leaving today, if you stay long enough, you'll see an excited new Fulton County employee. So thank you all. I appreciate it.
Can you talk about the safety situation that created?
And just a correction, the message that the company sent to their employees, they sent a text message at 2:10 telling them to leave at 2:15. And so they started leaving at that point.
Somebody lying. Somebody's lying. I smell an odor, some more odor of mendacity going on. Somebody's lying. This man said he called the mayor. He said he called the sheriff's office. He said he called numerous amounts of people. Why would he call the customer service line? Why would the CEO of a company who's contracted with a county, with the Fulton County, the largest county in Atlanta, why would I call customer service instead of calling the people who I made this contract with? I do not believe that. I don't believe this. I do not believe that this guy just shot out a text like, yo, y'all leave now. He said as of 5 o'clock on August 29th, 2024, we had to remove our guys. I already gave you extra months of work. And then he's going to say, well, I found out that some of these people were not making livable wages. Yeah, you haven't paid the contractor in 3 months. You have not paid the contractor in 3 months. You owe him $1 million. That $1 million is supposed to go to his employees. Part of that is supposed to go to his employees and his company and himself. He's provided you with almost 30 starting off. employees. Then it increased to 80. So the man has been growing his company for you. How much do you want to bet that they tried to squeeze this dude out so that way they won't have to pay him any money? And he want to talk about the sheriff budget. Let's look at the sheriff's budget real quick. Let's look at this budget. Okay, so one of the things is that numbers don't lie, right? Numbers don't lie. You see, this says the general fund of Fulton County for this year. It goes back to 2022's actual fund, the amended budget for 2023, the actual budget of 2023, the proposed budget of 2024, changes to the proposed budget, changes to proposed budget on January 24th and the 10th of this year. And then this is the actual adopted budget here. And they're right here, it says inmate welfare fund. I want y'all to keep that in mind, because recently the inmate welfare fund was actually scraped. I'm gonna get into that. That's another video for another day. But they actually scraped this fund, and it went down from almost $6 million to $5 million. Now I believe there's no longer an inmate welfare fund now. According to what I have researched and learned, they have scraped the entire inmate budget, welfare fund budget altogether. All right. But let's take a trip. Let's go down. Let's go down this list a little bit here. Okay. You got county attorney, county auditor, county manager. These are all expenditures, right? Expenditures. District attorney's office. All right. Remember, this is the budget from 2022, the first one. Now look at it. 36.646 million. These is $36 million. Okay. By the district attorneys, for the district attorney's office. And that does not include the special prosecutor budget extension and all that kind of stuff, enhancements and things of that nature. Here is the information technology. All right. If you look at information technology, 38 million. All right. This is the budget for the year. Juvenile court budget, right? All this kind of stuff, right? Check this out. Let's go down. Look at the public defender budget. It was $21 million in 2022. And then you want to go down over to our immediate right here. Now it's at $26 million. And guess what? Still not enough. You know why? Now this number looks like it's big, but when you put it in perspective and you have over 10,000, 17,000 backlogs of cases, this number gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay. Sheriff. Hold on. Sheriff. What that number say? In 2022? That says $125.1 million, don't it? I mean, I went to school and I love math. Is that the number that we're looking at? Okay, what is the current budget? Let's keep going across. What's the current budget? 146 million? Wait a minute. I'm confused. This is the general fund. These are the expenditures. I'm confused here. Okay. This is the adopted budget for the sheriff. Okay? For the sheriff. All right? For Fulton County. That says 146. You all are under budgeted. There were budgetary issues. Like what exactly? I'm not understanding. And again, this number, it will get a little bit smaller depending on the circumstances. And according to this sheriff, the circumstances are very, very strenuous when it comes to Fulton County. So we have here a budget that he says is below. A 125 is enough. You at 146, man. This is the adopted budget here that they're going to do for this. This is what they adopted, that it would cost them as far as expenditures, at least $146 million when it comes to the sheriff county's office. You couldn't give this man his $1 million. I don't care. Even if the welfare fund for inmates have been scraped, you still didn't even pay this guy. And according to what y'all talked about on the phone, which we cannot prove, this is the reason why, you know, it don't smell right. It don't smell right. Whatever negotiations you were trying to do, there is no negotiation. You owe me nearly $1 million. There is no negotiating, bro. What's the negotiations? I gave you 3 months of extra time. I gave you 3 months of service, and you did not pay me. And then you want to get on TV and talk about the fact that my guys were getting paid less or they're below livable wages. Yes, because you haven't paid me, man. I'm giving money out of my own pocket. You haven't paid me, bruh. Bruh, you haven't paid me. So there's no way in the world you can do that. See, this is the thing about painting a picture. They want to paint a picture to make it look like this man was irresponsible with his employees. But his company increased in value, and not only increased in value, but increased in employment. And you are now taking away his livelihood and his ability to pay his people. But you want to go on TV and say that there's a budgetary issue, and then there's 2 buckets. This one bucket is getting empty, so we're going to go into the other bucket and pay these people outright, and they can just become Fulton County employees, period. They don't even have to, okay, really? So you're going to pay them as Fulton County security guards? Wait, you're in the jail, man. They don't need to be correctional officers, huh? Just contracts. You are contracting security guards, man. Now, there are some security companies, man, they are elite. They are elite. They almost like Secret Service level of security. They got the earpieces. They got a strategic plan. They actually practice this, rehearse things, all that kind of stuff. You're dealing with a cat like that, man. You're dealing with a cat that said he has a nationwide security company and security services that he does. And he's keeping, as much as he can, keeping your inmates safe from each other. Then on top of that, you have dumped a lot of your inmates into the Cobb County Jail, and you have to pay them $11 million. Oh, so that's what it is. You are trying to pay out and keep. Where's the money, man? Where is the money at? Okay, this doesn't make any sense. We just looked at the adopted budgets of the sheriff, state court general, state court judges, sheriff department, all this kind of stuff. 146 mil. We just looked at it. That is the Fulton County budget itself. I got it from the Fulton County website. This ain't me. Something is going on, man. There needs to be an overhaul, and a serious overhaul. What you're doing is going to cause more problems than solutions, man. With this, there is no way. If I know I have the worst jail in America, there is no way that I need to have this type of problem with me right now. Especially with the fact that we got the YSL trial going on, and it's talk about the conditions of Fulton County. This is an international case at this point. It's people all over the world that's been watching this. People from the UK, shout out to my UK people. People from Australia, shout out to my Australian people. People from Mexico, people from Puerto Rico. I'm telling you, it's everywhere. Brazil, everywhere. Okay? So let's not get this twisted. This is not the problem you need to have right now. All right. And so if I'm the sheriff, this sheriff right here, who is again political positions, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that I keep all the things that's under me on point. Stop trying to save money for yourself, man. I'm telling you, man, people are taking money, man. This budget is way too big and it's way too whimsical. It's like there is no structure. Remember the Georgia Senate meeting when they asked the people, the commission, the county commissioner's office, do you all have a process that you take to look at the background for these special prosecutors? Do you all go through a process to whereas you try to make sure that these people are qualified for this amount of money to do da? And it's like, no, we don't do that. Nope, we don't do any of that. For Fonnie Willis asked us for an extension or an enhancement for money for certain things. We come to an agreement and give it to her. Something ain't right. Something is not right with the process, man. So that's the video for the day, man. If you like this video, go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel, share this video right now. This your boy Tay Biz, Stand Up Biz Nation. I'll holler at y'all in a minute, man. Peace.